Hello, you freaking tube. How is everyone today? I'm the First Giant, and welcome back to Friday the 13th, the game. This is attempt 2. I'm sure you've probably figured that out, as we are already in a game. I'll be restarting it in a second here, but like, this is so frustrating every time. Every time I try to stream this game, for some reason, like the last 4 times now, maybe more than that I've tried to stream this game, for some reason, for some reason, something has happened. Either the stream has crashed or the game has crashed, or the stream crashes or the game crashes, or oh my goodness, I'm starting to get extremely annoyed. But I was saying that we're doing a couple of episodes of offline bots because, and I talked about this yesterday, I'm working with my old glasses because my other ones are being repaired. So this is, I'm not, like, this is going to be the last week of this game for a while anyway, but hopefully we can at least make it through this week without any more issues. And the most annoying thing is that it usually lasts just long enough that it's like, well, either what I have to do now is I'll have to go in, it'll save that short, like, 15-minute, I don't know how long it was, stream, and I'll have to go in and delete that one, because this is the, hopefully this one lasts longer. Or the other thing that sometimes happens is it lasts long enough that it's like technically long enough to be a full-length stream, but I don't get to like end the stream properly because it just kind of, anyway. So I don't know why or what's going on, but hopefully it works now. Hopefully. But anyway, I was talking yesterday a lot, and I was talking a little bit today about we are playing the offline bots mode, as I said, right? And I was talking about how it used to, like, they've actually, I was surprised to see that they've actually made some improvements to the AI for the offline bots. Not a great deal of improvements. They still don't have the intelligence of, you know, a normal player. Which is, I guess, to be expected somewhat. But they have made some improvements. You know, they do now actively try to escape from Jason, and accomplish all the possible paths or routes to get to, you know, an escape. So, you know, they work on the phone, they work on the car, the boat, whatever, you know, everything. And they do actively, you know, occasionally actively try to fight Jason. So, you know, it's nice. It's been improved. It's still, like, when I play on hard mode, which is what I play on most of the time, hard difficulty, it's still, like, well, as you can see, there's still times where there's glitches happen, or they don't, you know, whatever. Hopefully not all of, like, I have had times, in fact, where all of them are completely broken.
To die. Make them suffer like you.
So, it's, but, I mean, it's more or less improved, sort of thing. Because I've talked about, like, you know, it used to be that sometimes they would attempt one path to escape, and even if it killed them, like, you know, they would just continuously over and over again step in traps to, with the hopes that maybe, you know, eventually it would work. Now, yeah, the traps, like, see, the thing is, they're programmed to play the way the game is designed to be played. So, you know, they're fooled by the traps pretty much every time. You know, they're that kind of stuff, but at least they actively try multiple paths instead of, you know, deciding on, okay, well, the first thing we found was the battery, so now we're just gonna, that's all we're gonna do is go for the car. And even if you know, it maybe the, you know, even if we find something else, you know what I mean, like, they used to be worse than they are now. You know, and I was talking about, I guess the major differences I've noticed, right, are, that surprises me. The major differences that I have noticed are, really? As I said, like, they actively try to escape, and I feel like before, when they were first released, I feel like they knew all the stuff that they could do, but they tried it in random orders that didn't make sense and never actually accomplished anything. Whereas now they've had enough of an improvement that they, you know, it's like say, well, so for example, anybody who's played this game, they know that, you know, if you find the battery, you put it in the car. If you find the gas, you put it in the car or the boat. You have to have one battery and you have to have battery and gas and keys to get the car started. Once you get the car started, you can escape with as many people will fit in that car, right? So basically, what I've noticed is it seems like, you know, they knew, oh, well, we can pick up the battery. It can be put in the car. Like before, they knew we can pick up the battery. It can be put in the car. We can pick up the gas. It can be put in the car. We have to leave with the car, but they didn't. Okay, well, I've hit this glitch before, where every so often you hit a glitch where they don't run, they don't move, they don't do anything to try and escape. Oh, apparently she had stuff, so maybe this isn't the same glitch. Huh. Well, it's similar though. She didn't go anywhere. She just used all of her, and then, yeah. Alright, cool. So they definitely still have glitches. They definitely still have times where they just all stand there and do nothing. I'm not sure if the bots can spawn
Make them suffer
using, you know, certain perks from the game, like that allowed them to spawn with stuff, or like, not sure why they have, they seem to have weapons, but they aren't doing anything with them. They just are standing absolutely still once they have weapons. I'm not sure. You know, they're you know, so they seem to be still have glitches for sure. This game has always had glitches, but overall, it seems like, as I said, it seems like before they knew all the things that they were capable of doing, but they didn't have any sense of direction. They didn't think, oh, well, I picked up the battery, now I need to put it in the car. They think, I've picked up the battery, it's possible to put, like, putting it in the car is something that I could do. You know, so they'd run around with it. Usually they'd just kind of run around and didn't know where to go, or they'd hide, or they'd something else, you know. Now it seems like, as I said, now it seems like they've improved the AI somewhat, enough to make it so that unless they have a glitch like they're having this game, they will go, okay, I've picked up the battery, now I need to go to the car, find the car, put it in the car, do the gas, whatever. But they get fooled by the traps every time, so, you know. Actually, they seem to get fooled by mostly all of the sort of tricks that Jason is capable of using. You know, unlike a player, which the players just know that you know, they know about all the different tricks you can use, right? If I use the stealth mode, the bots will be fooled by it. Players will not. Right? If I use the traps, okay. If I use the traps,
kill them.
they'll be fooled by it. They won't see them, you know?
They deserve to die, Jason.
Oops. I keep doing
Make
that.
them suffer.
I kept doing that yesterday, too. Yeah, so, you know, that's the improvements that I've noticed, right? It's like, yeah, great, you know. As I said before, it's like, well, they knew all the things that they could do to try and escape. They didn't know how to put them together into the necessary order in order to actually, you know, escape. They didn't know how to actually, you know, take the necessary path towards escape. You know, so at least now they kind of, it seems like they've been okay.
They deserve to die.
I keep making that mistake
like
there. Whatever. So, as I said, yeah, it seems like now they have made, like I have heard, like it used to be, like you never, like you see them running around with gas. Never ever did you ever get to the point where they were actually putting it in the car, right? It used to be, you know, they'd have the phone fuse, but they'd never use it. Whereas now, I mean, this is not a good example, Dave, because they, you know, they're having a glitch. But, you know, a lot of times, but I have noticed that it is improved. It is at a point where, on a good day, like when they're not glitched out a little bit, what I like to call the AFK glitch, you know, they will,
Do you know what your gift is? No matter
they will even, I mean,
you cannot die. You can never die.
when they're not experiencing the AFK glitch, they will,
Don't stop, Jason. They deserve to die.
I have
Make
seen
them suffer
times
like we did.
where they will, they will even work on repairing the car. They will actually fight Jason. We've seen some the other day where they fight Jason. They attack him. I don't know. Like I've never experimented to see actually how far they would actually get now. Like I know before, they never made any progress. You pretty much could stand there the entire time, and all you do is get they'd all escape because the timer runs out. You know. Whereas now they might. I feel like potentially they might call the police or they might start the car and successfully escape if you stood and, you know, if you just waited and did nothing. In fact, I know for sure people were, you know, I've seen videos in the past when they first came out. Can we get the bots that are pretty much useless to try and kill Jason? And, you know, the most they would ever do is call Tommy sometimes. Maybe they would get the sweater occasionally. Now, I feel like if I helped rig it so that, you know, like if I help them get to the exact right spot and situation, if I kind of set up the situation, I feel like it may actually be I feel like it might actually be possible for them to kill Jason. Now I'm sure it'll be very difficult to get them to manipulate them into taking that path, but I feel like it's more possible now with the update than before. You know, what exactly that means, I mean, still highly unlikely, but more possible now than before. Anyway, that's my opinion. So, are they fun to play against? Not too bad if you want to just play a couple of relaxing games, practice using Jason. Yeah. As fun as playing against players? No. But, perhaps somewhat, it's the developer's intention to make them not as fun as playing against players. I still do wish that, you know, when you set the difficulty to hard, that it actually gave some of a challenge. Because even with the improvements, they're still not all that challenging to go up against. So, if we can, I'd like to hopefully successfully complete two matches of offline bots. That would be the goal. Ah, there we go. Oh, she turned on her flashlight. So that's the most movement that she's made this entire time.
Oh God, no!
Oh,
They want to hurt you,
I went.
Jason. Don't let them.
What? Oh, she's standing in it and yet still. Alright.
Get up, Jason.
There we go.
Find them. Kill them.
It's always nice. The one thing that's fun when they do have the AFK glitch is doing that, where you know, things you can't necessarily always do. But I mean, I guess you could, right? You set up the trap if you were, you know, but then only if you're able to pick them up close enough to walk them over top of it, so that when they escape, they drop out. But anyway, and the other nice thing is you still get you know, all the XP and whatnot from playing, you know, from playing the offline bots that you would get in a normal game playing as Jason. So that's nice. But we'll do one more, and then that'll probably be it. And hopefully we make it through the whole thing. You know, yeah. We're gonna go random Jason again. Hopefully we get a good one I haven't used in a while. But yeah, see, I put it on hard difficulty. I'm not sure. Maybe there's really no difference at all in the difficulty settings, but I always put it on hard difficulty because I know that, you know, hard difficulty is probably should be considered easy, but or maybe there shouldn't even be a difficulty setting if, you know, it should be just easy all the time. But you know, we whatever. I have no idea what the other difficulty settings would even be like now with the changes. Oh, well. Guess we're going part 3. When I do, like, when I have it randomly pick, I don't very often get, like,
They're out there,
any of the
Jason.
others.
Find them and get your revenge.
Like, I get part 4 sometimes, part 5, and part 3. So, there's 2 cars. I feel like with 2 cars, that kind of gives more of a chance that they might, maybe, potentially, get some progress done in the car. I mean, like, I know that like, the way I know that they've been improved is because I know that I've seen them get progress. You know, the offline bots. I've seen them get progress, so. Okay. Okay. There we go. The one thing, you know, and I guess this is maybe not a surprise, but the one thing they do seem to have as bots is aimbot. Because anytime they have tried to attack Jason, especially with like a flare gun or a shotgun, like with either of the two guns, they almost never miss. So. Let's go down here. Oh, somebody's running, so that's a good sign that they aren't, you know, AFK glitched again. Yeah, I don't know if they've made it so that the bots spawn in with weapons and certain things, like all of them, or like they still don't seem to have the intelligence to actively. I mean, they run, but they don't actively avoid Jason other than running from him when they, like, know he's there for sure, like when he gets a certain distance from them. Like, if you were playing against players, she wouldn't have even come back because she would have seen me work, you know, trapping the car and run the other way, probably. I mean, some players do. They think they're really good and know how to avoid Jason for a long time, but you know. Yeah, I will say, yeah, it does. You know, they do still have the, you know, an AFK glitch occasionally, and they've improved it, but it is the AI is still a little bit iffy. Like, yeah, they've improved it. Oh, wait, did they get? That's not the trap. Oh, I bet you they're going for the phone then. Okay, alright. Interesting. Let's say, I mean, I guess I would say maybe they kind of play a little bit like noobs, you know? I should go up to the car then. Because they're not here, but... Or the phone, sorry, it's highly likely... No, it's not this one either. Which one did they... Must be the other car? They're fixing one of the cars. So that's interesting. See, you can hear it now. You can definitely hear it now, right? The other issue that they have is that they, even the ones that shouldn't be fixing things, and if they're in the middle of a task, they won't stop. They will run from Jason. They will continue to do that task until it's done, even if it means they're gonna die. But at least they are, you know, somewhat improved to the point where they are actually actively trying to fix the car. And somebody's in there. Oh. Okay. Alright. Nice, you had a thing. Cool. And then you also used your fireworks for some reason. I'm gonna go check on... I would say the phone again. You know, I feel like that's still a worry somewhat. Well, I don't know where I ended up. Yep, see, they're fixing the phone. Again. No! Well, I'm not exactly sure what he's doing now. That seems like it's clearly a glitch. Okay, there you go, see? Nice. See, that's something they would have never even thought of trying before. All of those things that they did, that he did to try and escape there, wow, he really went far too. I guess that makes sense, he's one of the best runners. But again, they don't care about the bots are also affected by the same, you know, strengths and weaknesses as in the, like, the characters in the, when you play online, right? So, you know, Bugsy is still terrible at, Bugsy and Chad, they're still not great at fixing stuff. But okay.
Get up, Jason. Find them.
But they also they're still not great at fixing stuff, but they also but it's like they don't care. You know, they okay.
They want to hurt you, Jason. Don't let them.
See, that's something that you probably shouldn't have done. And wouldn't have if you were... I mean, I guess players sometimes make that mistake, but most of them wouldn't.
Don't stop, Jason. They deserve to die. Make them suffer like we did.
But this is actually I would say this is actually a pretty good run to sort of give an example of what they're like now. And if you watched some of my other streams on this in the past, I did give an example of what they were like then. That's not where I expected to end up. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, see?
Jason, my boy, do you know what your gift is? No matter what they
That was pretty good aim.
do, you cannot die. You can
And
never
obviously
die.
they called Tommy, so that's good.
They want to take you from me, Jason. Don't let them.
I find it weird how with the pocket knife, it seems like they should have stabbed him on the other side of his head, but anyway, that's not the bots. That's just in general. So I'm not sure if they will try and. I do wonder actually now. Where? Well, I'm assuming they must be under a bed somewhere. The one thing they will do is, like, they still don't realize that, like, obviously, because the and this is just a fact, or you know, because they're bots, they don't know it's better to hide in an unofficial hiding spot than, you know, but. You know, can't fault them for that. Like, so I would say, looking at them from the perspective of realizing that they are just bots, they still are AI. I would say they are greatly improved as far as.
Don't
You know,
stop, Jason.
compared to real players.
Die. Make them suffer like we did.
Compared to real players, maybe not. I think I went to the wrong place. Which one has the... Okay. Okay. That was an interesting path choice. So, you know. Yeah. Oh, another bird bath. Never mind. We'll just use this. I didn't get close enough to it.
They
Alright,
deserve
cool.
to die, Jason.
What else have we got?
Make
There's still
them
a few more. Oh,
suffer.
Tommy's still going.
No!
What? That's not a spot to hang him? Alright,
Take
cool.
you from me, Jason. Don't let them.
Hey. Let's go with this one.
That's my boy. Hunt them down and make them pay.
Okay. Something I can do. So I'm not sure which trap was triggered, but I haven't heard them working on anything else. I don't know if they've given up, if they've glitched out, if they aren't, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly if they I'm as I said, I've never experimented since they've been improved to see if they actually are capable of accomplishing one of the tasks necessary for escape, or if they just get really close to accomplishing it. They clearly still hide quite often, although that is a little more randomized than it
Make them suffer.
Than it was, because you know it used to. That was one of the other things that they used to do was, as I said, right? They used to pick one of the options of things that they could do, and just do that the entire time, which sometimes just meant carrying the battery all over the place, or something like that. A lot of times I had games where every single one of them chose to hide the entire game. Now, there's only 2 minutes left, which I think, as I said before, is the only way that I've ever had them successfully escape. The only way that the bots have ever successfully escaped is through, waiting out the entire time. And I will say, in a big house like this, to search through every single hiding spot, they might make it. There's actually 2 people left. I don't think I will get them all this time. But where's the... Especially when all the hiding spots are... I don't know, I think these take longer than the beds. Oh, I got one more. There's... Jenny's the only one who thinks gonna escape.
They deserve to die. Make them suffer like we did.
Because I don't know, I wouldn't even know where to begin to look for her, so... I'd say that's not too bad. As I said before, escaping from the time running out is the only thing that they've ever actually done. And again, it's because, when they're hiding in under a bed or in a cabinet,
That's my good boy. Mommy has a reward.
It does take longer to find everybody if everybody hides, right? When they're out in the open wandering around, or even just standing out in the open, you see them right away. Whereas if you know they're in a house but they're hiding under one of the beds or in a cabinet, searching everyone takes a significant amount of time. So, sometimes one of them will escape that way. But, anyway. I'm gonna say that has to be, I'm in a bit of a rush, so that has to be the end of our stream for today. Check here. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, that is going to have to be the end of our stream for today, so... thank you guys so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. Please share with a friend, and don't forget to click the notification button. May the power of the Holy Spirit be with you always. And that'll be all. Hey guys, here's a pre-recorded message for you. If you click here, you get the previous or the next video in this series, and if you click here, you get the playlist for this series. And if you click on my channel logo, you get to subscribe, and if you click on this pop-up, you get a drop-down menu with playlists and polls. None of this is available live, so come back later.